Home of the three-piece combos. Pugilism Company. Reed, BBS. Black Burp Sugar. Bachelor's in Boxing Studies. Don't know about you, but I'm getting a little perturbed by the whole, I see something. It's kind of getting old for me. I don't know about you, but it's kind of getting old for me. We've been hearing it in the build-up for Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence Jr. And most recently, we've heard it from Abner Marvis in regards to his fight with Gervonta Tank Davis. I see something. Please, for those of you privileged enough to cover it, I'll be among those, but we all need to do our due diligence and ask what it is, win, lose, or draw. Ask these fighters what it is they thought they saw, pre-fight, whether they won or whether they lost. Don't just let them off the hook if they lose. Be like, hey, look, okay, so you were saying, I see something. What was it that you thought you saw? Can you elaborate on what it was? We're sorry that you lost, but what was it that you thought you saw? Or if they win, then maybe it'll be abundantly clear to us what they saw. My whole point saying this is I'm not banking on those scenarios playing out for the fighter saying, I see something. It almost seems like I don't want to say a cheap marketing ploy, but it's definitely a marketing ploy. Like you're giving your fans some sense of hope. For those that are like, well, bro, like Abner Morris, you started your career like 118, bruh. And now you're facing like a thick Canelo Alvarez looking 130-pound dude in Gervonta Davis. Like Tank Davis he's called Tank because he's a thick-bodied dude. He's not taller or much taller than Abner at all, but he's going to be way, way thicker on fight night. So it's like, the fight makes no sense. Like, you were at 118. Tank might have been at 118 pounds when he was maybe 15 years old, dude. Just way too thick. And then you got Mikey, I see something with Errol Spence. Mikey began his pro career at 126 pounds. And he's moving up to face Errol Spence, who actually fought in the amateurs and in the Olympics at 152 pounds. So Spence is fighting at a lower weight than he fought in the amateurs. You see something like, man, I don't know, man. Again, I'm hoping that the writers, the media, they ask, they do due diligence. Hey, what was it that you thought you saw? Or was it just something in your eyes? Were you just seeing something? You know what I'm saying? Now, both of these dudes, Mikey and Abner Morris, they're going to both go down swinging because they're both warriors. I'm not questioning their character or their heart at all, but it almost seems kind of like you have nothing to lose. It's like a cash out situation almost. Like, you have nothing to lose, man. You lose to this dude, hey, the biggest payday of your career. So what? You lost. He beat you. He knocked you out. Everybody thought he was going to knock you out anyway. I don't know if I'm down with that. I'm just a little bit perturbed by the I see something angle. I see something. And factor in Mikey Garcia, his layoff with Top Rank. So he had a contract dispute with them. He was ready to join PBC, or at least get under the PBC umbrella. He sat out 2.5 years. 2.5 years Mikey did. And maybe he's trying to make up the difference. You know what I'm saying? Not that he needs the money, but he could make up a good chunk of that 2.5 year layoff by facing Errol Spence. He'll make up a good bit of that. And if he wins or loses, he's going to be at a higher level financially, because you really can't offer him too much less money after he's made career high purse. That's just how it is. Mikey knows that. We all know that. Ultimately, the whole I see something angle, it suggests, like the rest of us, like we just don't know nothing about boxing. Like, again, like Tank Davis is the Canelo Alvarez of the 130-pound division, dude. Like, and I mean, what do you see there? There's nothing you can really see there and explore it. Moving up from 126 when you began your career at 118, and you've been knocked out in the first round by dudes at lower weights. And in Mikey's case, like, he's been dropped in 130 pounds. And Errol Spence fought again in the Olympics at 152, man. Like, they'll be fighting at 47, but Spence, like, he's a huge welterweight. Not necessarily tall, but he's thick-bodied as hell. Like, no, man, all this, I see something. Again, I keep harping on it. Just make sure you challenge the trainers, the fighters, anybody who has a chance to interview them. Hey, what was it? So now you said you saw something. What was it that you thought you saw? Don't forget to love, tap, and bitch slap that like button. Subscribe, like, and comment, and share. Don't be greedy. Hey, it's 2019. It's time to elevate, because we elevating. We elevating. We moving in different directions, man. Hey, we want y'all with us. Be our 1,000th subscriber. 1,000 subscribers and running. And we run into live streams. And trust me, y'all ain't ready for the live streams. Y'all gonna be like, oh my God. O-M-F-N-G. But yeah, be our 1,000 subscriber. And get us there. And I'm going to prove it to you. We're going to prove it to you. Me, Sarge, we're going to prove it to you. Want to touch on little mental aspect of the game, like a more of a business side of it. Like the downside of having an undisputed champion in a particular division. That's what we all want as fans. Like, I want that too. Don't get it twisted. That's exactly what I want. I want one champion in every division like it used to be in the old school days. Or way back in the day, it was only 8 divisions. You know what I'm saying? It was like that. So everybody knew who the lightweight champion or the welterweight champion or the heavyweight champion or the light heavyweight champion or the featherweight champion was. There was no dispute. There wasn't 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. It was just one in every division. But when you look at it from a business model, especially, and I'm not affiliated with PBC at all, Premier Boxing Champions, but Al Heyman's outfit. But let's take them for example. Like, what is the incentive for them to unify all of their champions? Where's the incentive at? Like, so when Al Heyman signs these contracts and PBC, they sign these contracts with these networks, they're guaranteeing these networks X amount of title fights just from a contractual basis. Hey, you got to give us X amount of title fights per year. And I don't know, again, I'm not affiliated with them or connected, but I know they have a finite amount of fights that they have to produce for them. So you got Errol Spence, you got Keith Thurman, you got Sean Porter. Those are the 3 PBC champions. We all think, believe, and pretty much know Errol Spence is the best of that lot. But if Errol Spence was the unified, undisputed champion, then from the welterweight division, PBC could only produce Fox or Showtime or whatever network. They could only produce 3 fights, possibly 3 title fights a year from the welterweight division or any other division that they have unified. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe 2 or 3 times a year if you're lucky. But with the belts splintered as they are, which we, again, as fans, we hate that. You got Spence, you got Thurman, you got Porter. Hell, you can get 2 or 3 defenses through each of them champions per year on the same damn network. So I'm not sitting here justifying necessarily or applauding why shit happens like it does, but what I'm saying is I understand why it happens like it does. I understand why it is the way it is. And I know Al Heyman doesn't necessarily pressure his fighters to unify and to try to be undisputed. If guys want to cherry pick Al Heyman, he kind of lets you do your thing because he's going to make his money either way. If you want to be ambitious, he'll also help you to be ambitious. But he's not going to put pressure on a guy who is not ambitious to be ambitious. If he's not built that way, if he's not about that life. You know what I'm saying? That's just not how he is. Al Heyman lets you do what you're going to do because he's going to get his either way. His model is about bulk. It's kind of like a Walmart model. Like, I have so much product, you have to deal with me. It's not even about this product or that product, even though I have singular products that are good. But it's about the bulk of what I have. And ultimately, like, who's going to be... So, let's say Errol Spence dominates 47 and moves up to 54. How much interest will there be in 47? Like, all the guys, he just wiped his ass with it at 47. How attractive will that division be? You know what I'm saying? Like, would the interest still be there for you? I don't think it would be for me. I really don't. And that's just another aspect to why maybe some of these fights don't happen. Although as a fan, I still want to see one singular champion. Heavyweight, super welterweight, any division where it's plausible and feasible, let's make it happen. But I understand necessarily why it doesn't happen. Home of the three-piece combos, Pugilism Company, Reed BBS, Black Burp Sugar, Bachelor's in Boxing Studies. When all is said and done, there is nothing left to say or do.